If you guys enjoy what I do, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel and it's free and easy to do. Welcome to my channel where we cover the lore of Final Fantasy XIV. We cover the stories both big and small, the epic and the cute, the silly and the tragic. I hope you all enjoy the ride, and welcome to the Chronicler of Lore. Out in Thavnir, Kankana's been looking for the Warrior of Light because there have been some odd hippo sightings in the area. Apparently some hippos have been sprinting down the main road for some reason. They normally stay in Vanaspati, so seeing them outside in such large numbers is a little weird. Well, it's not all that weird since Vanaspati got hit pretty hard during the final days, which means Kankana wants to find a new home for them, to help out the hippos, and to keep the people from getting trampled. Normally she'd ask the Radiant Host or Ogul to deal with this problem, but they're all busy, so of course she asks you. And your first order of business is to find out what the people around the area know about the rampaging hippos. A lot of people have seen them running down the road so fast that they're leaving clouds of dust, and apparently they have carts hooked to their backs too, with Arkasodara riding in them. Turner, one of the Arkasodara, had hoped she could deal with this little issue before it got out of hand, but apparently she wasn't fast enough. She knew about the hippos and how to stop them because they were her people's mounts that they weren't supposed to be riding down the main road. When she finally gets them to stop, Maru, Turner's second in command, gets the full brunt of the woman's anger. Maru and the others knew that they weren't supposed to ride their hippos on the main road, but they don't have anywhere else to race now that Vanaspati's been destroyed. Turner knows that, but that just means their racing days are over for good. Her people aren't all that happy about it, but that solves the running hippo problem. All that's left is for Turner to apologize for her people causing a problem for the area. So the Warrior of Light takes her to Kankana so she can apologize, and she brings Maru with her. Since she did leave him in charge and he messed up, it only makes sense that he apologizes too. Turner apologizes to the other woman and explains that she and her people used to race their hippo carts through Vanaspati, but that changed when fire rained out of the sky and people started turning into monsters. Turner and her people never really took to civilization, so they had always stayed away from the main settlements, but since the final days forced them to move, they've been trying to readjust. She's not making excuses for her people or anything, just explaining the situation a bit. Whatever debt they've built up with their behavior, she's more than willing to repay. Unfortunately, she doesn't really know what aid her people can actually provide, but in a stroke of genius that's very unusual for the Warrior of Light, she thinks that the hippo riders will work great for delivery work all around the area. Kankana agrees. Trade is picking back up, and having a fast way to deliver packages through the area would really help out. Of course, people don't just ship their valuables with people that they don't trust, so Turner and her hippo riders will have to get the people of Thavnir to trust them, and the best way to do that is to have someone that everyone trusts already hanging around to vouch for them. That person being the Warrior of Light, of course. Kankana takes it for granted that you'll help the hippo riders out, because the Warrior of Light never really says no to anything, and the chance for the hippo riders to prove themselves is already here. A Gordanian package full of medical herbs was accidentally dropped off to Kankana, but it needs to go to the alchemist at the Great Work, so Kankana sends you and Turner to deliver the package so her people can start learning how to deal with the others. Turner has the fastest hippo on the island, so after setting the package in a spot where it hopefully won't get damaged from all the bouncing around, she lets you borrow a hippo cart for the trip. Usually the hippos don't just let anyone ride them, but since you were there when Turner fed them earlier, they aren't all that wary around you. While you ride, she lets you know a bit about the hippos and her people. They made the carts from scratch. Arkasodara usually don't ride in chocobo carriages, and after a while Turner had started to wonder why. They aren't exactly a small race, so the chocobo may not have strong enough backs to carry them, so she started testing other creatures. That's when she decided on hippos. The things are as fast as any chocobo over short distances, but you have to know how to pace them if you don't want them to burn out on a long journey. The ride doesn't take too long, and an alchemist is waiting for his package there, and he immediately recognizes you as the person who saved Nadana, which automatically gives Turner a bit of clout just because she's there with you. The alchemists are used to having problems with their deliveries since they don't have a port big enough for ships to drop their orders off directly. They sometimes get mixed up with other orders, which is why he's super happy to see that you did get the order right, and finding out that all of the high-speed hippo action was just the newest Amazon delivery method calms his nerves about the whole situation. Since it turned out fine, he'll definitely use the hippo delivery service again. Turner is shocked by just how popular the Warrior of Light is, and she didn't realize that it would feel so good making someone smile just by giving them their package. It makes the whole delivery business thing seem like a better idea, so you all head back to Kenkana to let her know. Turner's still not sure how easy it'll be to get the people around the area to trust her crew enough to make this whole thing work, but since going back home to Vanaspati is out of the question, they don't really have much of a choice. Since they are new to this whole thing, Kenkana thinks that having someone oversee the project would help, and of course her first choice is you. With the final days done, the Warrior of Light really doesn't have too much else to do, so she's all for it. Since that part's done, Kenkana tells Turner some even better news. She has a place for the hippo riders to live. There's a trading post that she owns that hasn't been being used for anything. If they're willing to fix up the buildings, her people can use it for a very low monthly fee. No matter how nice you are, no good business person gives anything away completely free. Since the hippo riders have no credit, money, or collateral, they couldn't really hope for a better deal. The place isn't beautiful, but it is something that they can work with, under your guidance of course. The hippo riders don't take long to get the place in working order, and they dive right into business. Between your help and Kenkana sending odd jobs to the riders, they've been able to get things off to a smooth start, even though they still are a bit uncomfortable talking to the customers. Maru made some gulal that's supposed to help break the ice. It's just some multicolored powder that they use in different religious practices around the area, and they say that you'll have good luck if someone sprinkles some on you when they visit. Since everyone's been having a rough time since the final days, any good luck would be welcome. It's like the ice cream truck song. Even if you aren't buying any, just hearing that song makes you want to smile. It's a good plan, except for the fact that the sight of the gulal makes Turner's hipposaria start sprinting around like her butt's on fire. All in all, business has been growing, but it's slow, and their carts aren't designed for hauling a lot of packages at once. Maru thinks that it's only a matter of time before someone shows up with the tools to carry a lot of packages at once, then they'll be out of work again. He's right, which means they need to come up with a way to put their speed to use. Since they don't have any ideas, and the Warrior of Light isn't all that creative, they figure that asking the customers around the area would be a good idea, but that requires people skills, which they don't have. So Turner asks the Warrior of Light to come with her. She has a delivery at the Great Work, but she gets sidetracked when she hears someone screaming. An alchemist is about to get mauled to death by one of the local creatures, something that the two of you protect him from. The man was out trying to get this fruit that he'd heard was delicious. Apparently the wildlife thought so too and tried to eat it and him. Turner uses the incident as an opportunity to plug her business before loading up the man's fruit and heading to the Great Work to pick up her package. Apparently it's not ready because the alchemist who was making it woke up late, tried to rush to put it together, made a mistake and caused it to blow up. So she has to remake whatever it was, so you and Turner use that time to talk to the people in the area to get some ideas. I would have used that time to go home because there's no way I'm delivering anything that can explode. All of the people you talk to mention food because the alchemists tend to work so much that they never make time for dinner, but you don't get much time to talk before your package is finally ready. It's meant for Yazan, an alchemist out in Palakistan who's been looking after the baby that was orphaned during the final days. The package is full of medical supplies, which makes me wonder how the woman caused an explosion while packing herbs, but she heads off to eat before you can ask her, since she's about to pass out from hunger. That gives Turner an idea. Since the alchemists seldom go to get food, what if the food comes to them? But she'll think more about it after she delivers the package. Yazan is happy to see you again, although he hadn't expected you to be playing the role of mailman. Turner, who's apparently getting better with talking to people, decides to pitch her new idea to Yazan, since he's the one taking care of the people in the area. With all of the alchemists working themselves to death without getting any food, she figures it'll be a good idea to start a fresh food delivery service named Hunger Herring Hippos, a clear shout out to the game Hungry Hungry Hippos that most young people probably won't even know about. But just doing it for a few alchemists won't pay the bills, so she wants to know if he thinks that regular people would be receptive to the idea. The short answer is yes, especially since it's always been tradition to send food to the people working in the jungle. But it's a dangerous job because of all of the creatures. They're drawn to the smell of the hot food. Of course, the hippos are able to outrun any of the creatures, so that won't really be a problem. With that in mind, you all head home to get things set up for the next phase of the Hippo Rider's business, Thavnir's very own version of Uber Eats. And that's where we're going to stop for today. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and donate to the channel so I can keep bringing you guys new content. Until next time, guys, later.